Hi everybody, I wanted to give you some video feedback, and in doing this I'm looking at your functionality. I may have already looked at these, but I'm going to go through as a first-time site visitor, give you feedback on that, and you will implement the changes for your week 4 final. If you make a 100 on this, that doesn't mean you want to dismiss the edits, because then you won't make a 100 on your week 4, right? So I'm going to jump right in and get started. Nice job, Carly. I love the feel. I think it's perfect for your work. I'm going to make comments on what I think you want to do. Consider whether or not you want your header to extend the full width. You know, if you choose to have this white there, fine. It kind of brightens up your style. I don't mind it. You do need to put graphic designer up here in the same font, probably. You could put your name in bold and then put graphic designer, but it's okay to keep it here too in this situation, but we need to be able to see it in your header. Good job with your navigation. It's legible. We do want this to be over here if you're going to have this here. I don't mind the black and white rectangle, so in that way it's okay, but it isn't necessary, but do swap these out so they match what you're doing here. In fact, put your portfolio, your about, and contact like you have up here. Fun drawings. Make sure that's not your home number, but a Google Voice, a free Google Voice. Link up to one of your socials. You probably don't need the privacy, but it's okay. It is good to keep your accessibility. Week 4, we'll look further into that. Good job with your copyright update. Some of these things I won't repeat throughout, and some I will, but be sure to watch the whole video. Okay, so you're about, okay, I think you want to left align that so that we don't have this overhang and this on line by itself. And yeah, I would left align this as well. And same with this. Okay, you do have this, but you want to deal with that. This probably doesn't need to be that deep, your footer. Nice image, I like that. And it's facing in, good job. Let's see. Okay, let's remove this background, that's template. If you're not sure how, there will be a troubleshooting video that will go up probably by the end of the day. Make sure we can read this. A little difficult, even, I'm not sure you have, yeah, a little difficult to read, so you want to be very careful about text over images. That's for everybody, all right? And you could bring this up a little more. You don't need to have, I know it's the template, but you don't need to have that much of a leeway into your work. Okay, so these are linked up. Make sure that these are either removed or linked up. Again, make sure that's not your actual phone number. This is a good color back here. You may want to put it back here, right? For something like that too. All right, so you've got everything you need. Just a few things like that. So let's look at your mobile layout. Yeah, you're going to have graphic designer up here. And work on that a little bit. Anything you do in your desktop will make it over to your mobile, but you can make edits in your mobile that will not show up in your desktop. Okay, yeah, you want to just make that a little more legible. And make your fonts the same size. This is bigger. All right, so go through and do a little cleanup there. Left align all of that. It's easier, remember, for the eye to read when we're not don't have a jagged left line. And it also creates a cleaner design for your site and your pages. Good. All right. All right. So well done. I'm excited what this group is doing. Let's look at the next one. Avery. Okay. Nice. Not sure you need 3 lines for that. You might get away with 2. And let's see. I do like this image. And usually I would say this is too narrow, but you know, it's kind of part of your layout in this situation, this text. It's not covering up your face, and that's awesome. This is interesting over here. You know, it's legible. So I don't know what that will do in your mobile, but we'll see. Okay. Okay, let's try and be a little more consistent with these, right? The lettering, the size, space there, make sure that's not a, you know, your actual cell phone. You know, Google Voice is free. They can text it, they can call it, and you can decide whether you want to give them your cell number. That may be a Google Voice. Okay, nice. Okay, a little more padding around here. Let's make sure we're using the same 2 fonts, one for headers, one for paragraph text. Okay, yeah, maybe a little wider, but just a little more consistency here, maybe the same depth. You don't want to lose interest, but these just feel very different. And maybe this needs to be this size if you're going to do that. All right, so let's see what we've got. Okay, let's freeze your header so that, because you kind of got quite a bit of scrolling and we don't want to have to scroll up for your navigation, so freeze that. Also, let's remove that background. Sorry about that. This background, I'm not sure if it's yours or not, but the thing is, it's going to slow things down, and it's not really being utilized here anyway. So that will take you there. This will take you to the contact. Good. Maybe you want, that seems kind of floating, but maybe you want, let's see, maybe you want to shorten some of these so that they're not, so they don't feel like, they don't all feel that way, but so they don't feel like a long line here. I would do that. And I'm not sure this color feels like you, to be honest, that blue. Try not to have one word on a line. That probably could be aligned somehow with all of this. And yeah, I kind of want to see, maybe this needs to be bigger here. I want to see that this is a distinction. This goes into your contact. And while I can see that it is, I'm not getting that heading that tells me that it is. And these are just details. Okay, so let's take a look at the mobile. Okay, this might go in your header, to be honest. So which page are we? Okay. Okay, we want to remove that button for sure. Probably a little bit of space there. Make sure you have the same amount of space. Yeah, that, you know, I guess what you would want to do on this one is put a block that has a little more transparency, maybe a 10% underneath your text, so that we can actually read it, or you can crop this and put it underneath it. This feels very generic to me. You know, and maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it just needs to be a little smaller. You've got your header, or I'm sorry, your heading. I would put questions with a capital A for about, and then I would have this be a little smaller than the heading. Yeah. Okay, and that works okay here. This probably could be the same as that. Yeah, I would make this and this the same size. Close that up a little bit. Close that up a little bit. I'm wondering what that's about. I think that's your carousel, but check that out. Okay, I don't see. Okay, so we need to link on your mobile. So link that about to this strip. There should be an anchor there. So link that and link your contacts strip also. Okay, all right. But strong and interesting. All right, good job. All right, Nathan. I am wondering if you need this at all, especially with what you have here. So, okay, so here's the thing. Up in your header here, where you have your navigation, as you should, you need to put also your name and what you do. So if it's designs, design and a knack for business, graphic design. So you're going to put your name, graphic designer, so everybody knows right away. I mentioned this, I think, before. Let's not make this a blog post. We want this to be a page. That's important. Let's remove this background. You can do that in your site design, which is the letter A icon on the left in your Wix editor, and check out the background, right? And you'll be able to remove that if you just select a solid color, change the color. And again, there'll be a troubleshooting video that'll go up today that will also show you how to do that. But great image, and we just need to have it on a page where it's not a blog and we're not, you know, clicking to get to know about you. The home page you don't need, it looks like. There's nothing there. Okay, let's be careful about cropping. Okay, so we probably have to create a second cover image for our work, but that's okay. And you've got things. Okay, issue there. You have to take this out, okay? It's because you didn't create it, and I know the person who did. So that work has to come out. Yeah. Okay, so no. That will definitely lose points. Okay, so make sure you take that out. Remove the phone number here that is placeholder 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and make sure you're linking up to your work on Instagram. Okay, all right, so yeah, hopefully taking a look at some of the others, you're seeing exactly what you need to do. But you don't need the home page. You can delete it. And you can assign your one of your other pages, the next page, to be your about, probably to be your home page. But you will have to create a page. So you can do that in Pages and Menu. Go to Add a Page, and I would create a blank page and put your name and the content that you wrote in the blog. I would paste that in there. Okay? That would be the quickest way. So your name has to be up here and what you do. You don't need that here. It can be a heading somewhere. But yeah, so that's really what you're going to focus on. Okay? Okay. Okay, got to remove this page or this content down here. All right, all right. So let's look at a couple more. Abner, nice. We can see your work, and you've got a title here for what it is. You've updated your copyright. Good job. Good. This looks a little polished, you know, as far as it looks a little AI touch-up, which I don't recommend. But it's a great image otherwise. It might bring things in a little bit or make this just a little, this text box a little wider so we don't have this big space. And we'll see how that works on mobile. But you did a good job choosing your template. Let's move this page. Let's delete that page unless it's this page. We'll have to check which one you're actually using. This, you want to make sure this line is not cutting through this, and that you don't have empty here. So probably this would go down here and fit or something. It's great coloring, but obviously you don't want that line going through your work. Okay, I like the natural, candid look of that photo. And okay, so let's see, why is this here? That goes to your contact. This goes to a contact page. All right, so you'll need to make a choice. Both are working. You just only need one of these in your navigation. Okay. Okay, the home is going here, the portfolio. Okay, all right, so a little bit of cleanup. And check out those social links. Let's check the mobile. Okay. You might need to bring this up a line or something so these make more sense. You don't have to have those bars, brackets, but this works okay. You don't need that. It looks like it's trying to cut through it. I mean, if it's going to be a style, just be consistent with how it's laid out. Here it's touching the base. Here it's underneath a question, like here, which kind of provides a lot more scrolling than you need and spacing. Okay, so let's see. Close this up a little bit if that's showing up on yours. Yeah, I feel like that needs to come up a little bit so our header's not so deep. Okay, so that's linking, and that's good. I'd be more inclined to use that filtering on someone else than myself to that extent. I mean, we all use a little bit now and then, but maybe not so much. A little close that up a little bit. Yeah, that needs to come up. Okay. Okay, all right. Linked up and linked. Yeah, so you just want to remove some of those other social icons that you've got. All right. Great job, great start. I can see you're putting a lot of time into it and trying to get it right. Daniela, obviously great intro page, nice contrast, nice design with your dark to your gray, nice gradation. Easy to read your name. I would put on-camera talent up here in the same font that you have it here, maybe separate it somehow, but maybe you could put it in this color. Maybe your name is in this color, of kind of a red-orange. But rather than having it tagged there, that's what I would do. And not sure you need it here either. I'm not sure it's necessary or helping. Yeah, mainly it's the change in the upper lowercase font and kind of looking out of place, and you want, you know, caps here, caps here. So I think you only need one in your header. Little much on the spacing, kerning between these letters. Let's take that off. Not sure if that's generic or not. Yeah, so we don't have content here. We've got this, but maybe you just get rid of the link. Yeah. And I suspect that's going to do the same thing. Yeah. So let's get rid of that link so we're not pulling up that page, and you'll want to look in your pages and menu and either hide or disable that. It's just popping up. You can close that up just a little bit. It's not too bad, but it does have unnecessary scrolling. Just a little bit of kerning there that could be just a little tighter on your tracking. Good job with your footer. Okay. Okay, it'd be great if that could get down to one line, but sometimes you can't, or legal issues or reasons. Okay, nice. Let's make sure we're using, again here, it'd be great if that could get on one line so we don't have that space, that line space there, but otherwise it's good. You're using the same there as here. I like that. Okay. Good job. Close that space. All right, let's check. I think this is probably linked. Let's check your mobile. Yeah, let's work on that. Just fix it in your desktop and it'll affect the mobile. See how that's going to work. It doesn't bother me so much here because it's not just one word on a line. Yeah. Okay. I think I want this to come up just a little. Maybe just a line space there. Okay, this is fine here. Close just a little. All right, nice. I'd use a Google Voice. You have this down here. I'm not sure you need it here. So maybe this comes under here, just the icons, and maybe this. It's already here. If you want, you can put your phone there, but I would, or maybe it goes under this or above that, but this definitely is already here. You do have this, so you wouldn't really need that because you have it here. You could also take, well, I like that it breaks up, but yeah, I would streamline some of that. Anything that's duplicate, I would just eliminate that. But otherwise, terrific job, everybody. I really am happy to see where you are. I think you'll also get feedback from your peers. Make sure again that you check the site checklist so that you're staying on course with the rubric and what you need to do. You've done a great job not inserting extra stuff. That slows you down so much. We really just want to showcase you and your work. So good job keeping your sites streamlined. That's a pro. All right. Good job, everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing where you are next week.